still horrible. I'm not that person, Amy.
I know you're not.
Me and my sister. I've never done that. I'm trying to get myself better. I'm working on myself. I'm seeking help.
You're seeking help for it. That's all you can do, Amy.
It still hurts me that I would do that.
But
And talking about it is even harder because I'm not that person.
And I'm seeing a therapist. Hopefully I can learn to process stuff a little bit better because things have been pretty bad for a long time. The combination of being a mom and going through a divorce, my mental health was really bad and I was under so much stress. So with combining all that, I just snapped.
What's going on, people? You know, it's good to see that Amy's finally, you know, going to see a therapist. Because, you know, throughout the season, we've definitely seen Amy's attitude. We've seen her moods. We've seen, you know, her literally go from high to low, go from 0 to 100 real quick. And it hasn't been nice to see to the slightest. In fact, she's probably spent most of it on 100, you know, because she's literally been in the mood the whole time. I mean, listen, you know, went from the confrontation with her and Michael at the beginning of the season to then her saying, okay, I want a divorce. And then finding that Michael had then filed for divorce way before her. You know, and after that, then going to court and find out that he wanted, like, you know, custody of the kids, which was ludicrous, you know, 150%, which made no sense. And of course, that process has definitely not been a very nice process for her because she then had to come to realization that she's now a single parent, that she's now no longer married. You see what I'm saying? And the journey has been a roller coaster and she's been unable to handle it so much that she even forgot her own responsibilities. I mean, in the last episode, when they went away to Florida on vacation, she forgot to even bring tools for her kids to play with when they're there. You know, luckily that the resort, or should I say TLC, had things for the kids to play with. And then these things resulted in her then putting hands on Amanda. And it wasn't nice to see at all. And obviously a lot of people felt as if maybe she's going through depression, maybe she's going through PTSD, and you know, she's going through this this phase in her life where she needs to transition, but at the same time she needs to still remember to put her kids first rather than herself. And throughout the season, it just felt as if she's put herself first over her kids for the most part, because a lot of the times she's complained and expressed that it's been hard because she's a single mother, which hasn't been good enough because there's a lot of people in this world that are single parents and they just get on with it because they understand their priorities of being a parent. But obviously with Amy now, she hasn't understood that. And there's been times where she's relied on her family members to be the ones to help her. But then even when they've helped her, she's then still complaining and felt as if they wasn't helping her enough because she's definitely had that ungrateful attitude throughout the season. But to come to this point where she's finally been like, okay, cool, I'm actually going to, you know, I'm actually going to apologize and actually realize that the way I behaved is not cool. And I'm now going to take accountability by going to therapy is amazing. But before we get on, and before we carry on with the rest of this clip itself in particular, please do hit that subscribe button. I am aware that there are some people that do come to this channel that you do watch the channel, but you don't actually subscribe. So come on, guys, don't rely on the recommendations of the channel. Subscribe so therefore you are always informed of when I upload. But hey, with that being said, let's carry on.
And I feel embarrassed because I did wrong. And I just gotta fix it somehow. I need to apologize to all three of y'all.
Hoping that Amy wasn't even going to mention the whole Florida incident, simply because we're not here for that. We're here to rally around Tammy and show Tammy support. We're here for Tammy.
Now we will be getting down to Tammy's you know, loss in another video after this one, okay, guys? But yeah, let's continue.
I know, and you're doing fine. You don't have to apologize, but you have to learn to deal with your emotions when you get.
I'm working on it.
I know that.
Therapy.
I know.
That was the scariest thing I've ever done. I've never hit one of y'all.
Bitch, don't you know how to throw hands? You damn near tried to bite me like you was Gage. Bitch came after me like.
Well, one thing that I can say is I really do like and appreciate how Amy was hell-bent to want to apologize. She wanted to apologize when the incident happened, and she still wants to apologize now. And I like that because it clearly shows that she understands that what she did was wrong, that her emotions wasn't in the right place, that she was putting blame in all the wrong areas and towards the wrong people. So it's nice to see that she definitely wanted to make sure that apology came, and she wasn't looking to wait for it, because at the end of the day, it's really beating her up. And, you know, it's something that she really needed to do, which is cool. But I also like the fact that the family was able to get over it in a good way. You know, obviously, even making the joke of, don't you know how to throw hands? You know what I mean? And also, it's actually quite wild to hear that she tried to bite Amanda. Like, what the hell, man? Are you a vampire? But even though that isn't exactly a nice thing to do, it's nice to see that they're able to move on from it, you know, and just continue. So it's nice.
These papers are actually a copy of my divorce papers. I signed the final documents, and that's the end of an error.
I have been against therapy since the day I was born, pretty much. I have been to therapists and don't like them. I got 2 boys, so I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Michael and me are sharing custody. I get the boys 70% of the time. Michael gets them 30%.
So it's nice to see that she decided to go back to therapy because she understood that she had to do it because she wants to make sure that her boys are put first. And that's amazing. It's a very, very amazing thing to do. And that's the only thing you could ever wanted to do. But then also at the same time to find out that Michael has 30% of the boys, she has 70%. That's a good thing because of course he wanted to have 50%. I mean, ideally, does he even deserve the 30%? I guess that's subjective depending on how you want to look at it. Some people may say he only deserves 20%, 10%. You know what I mean? But 70% of her having the boys is better than the 50% that Michael was looking for. So it's good to see that, you know, the court did work in her favor in that kind of way, because it would have sucked, if anything, if Michael got the boys 50% because the guy wasn't actually doing too much. And the saddest thing about it is that if Michael did get 50% of the boys, he probably wouldn't be the one looking after them. He would probably get his family members to help him because, well, that's just Michael, isn't it? There's no proof behind that, but it's something that I wouldn't be surprised by.
Got the TV and one of the cars.
He got the lawnmower in the divorce. For the past few weeks, I've been trying to like do new things to take care of me and my boys. I'm establishing boundaries with the boys.
Good job, good fight.
Putting them on the schedule.
I got the hell.
Glenn's got teeth now. He's walking.
You do it.
I'm getting Gage ready for preschool. I want to be out with the old Amy and in with the new Amy, you know, improve my health, improve my mental health as well. Just getting what's going on. I got detoured from the path, so I need to get on the ball.
Well, it's nice to see that, you know, she's obviously gone to therapy. She's upped up, obviously, her parenting skills. And now she's in a position where she's now setting boundaries with the kids, which is fantastic because not having boundaries before was probably one of her biggest struggles, which is probably why her relationship with her children was pretty much up in the air. Because we definitely witnessed throughout the season the kids crying quite a bit and Amy not having a clue on how to handle them. So much that, you know, it took Amanda to step in and be like, hey, your kid just needs to have a sleep. Even Tammy at certain points stepped in and had to give, you know, Amy advice here and there of how to handle her kids. So it's nice to see that, you know, she's now in a position where she's starting to understand things a bit more, or at least going back to the basics and remembering the basics. Sometimes people, when they in their own little head, they can forget the basics of how to do anything in life. So setting boundaries obviously is definitely one of those basics that you're supposed to have anyway with your children from the get-go. So it's good to see that she's obviously applying these things. And it's very good to see that she also is on that path where she wants to continue losing weight. And in case you haven't seen Amy currently in real time, she has lost, you know, obviously a significant amount of more weight, which is good, along, of course, with Tammy as well. So it's nice to see that she's definitely been able to pick herself up rather than, you know, bring herself completely down. But at the same time, though, I do feel like everything that happened with Amy probably happened at a good time. And I say that because it happened at a time where Tammy was also now at her strongest. Because I can imagine if Amy was going through this, but Tammy was still at her worst, Amy probably would have been like, well, I might as well continue eating food again, just like Tammy is, you know what I mean? But I think because Tammy is obviously, you know, a good place in life of losing weight, Amy's probably used that as a motivation. Now, I don't know this for sure, but if anything, if I look back at the record between these two sisters, when it's come to their weight management, it has pretty much been a reflection of each other's attitude. Do you see what I'm saying? But now we're at a place where they're both going for that journey at the same time. Before, it was just Amy. You see what I'm saying? And then Amy stopped and it was just Tammy. So to see them both be on the same page now with their health is nothing but phenomenal. But nonetheless, though, you guys let me know what you're thinking down below and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.